Yo, yo. Time is 2:21 p.m. Time did I get up? I can't remember. 10 a.m. or something. Vinicius. Okay, that's like a fucking. Sounds like a Roman name, bro. Drags low-key Brazil level against dominant Morocco. Is it a tie? Germany versus Curacao is crazy, bro. Ain't no way. That's crazy, bro. Was I just writing? I just wrote this. Socialism or barbarism. That's what, um, fuck, what's the first name? It wasn't Martha, right? Rosa. Fuck, how'd I get that wrong? I literally just knew it. That's what Rosa Luxemburg said. I feel like New Zealand doesn't want socialism. I feel like New Zealand, you couldn't do communism here. They've never liked it. Like, we used to have kind of socialism when we were closer to the British, but it feels like independence has been marked by a constantly fascist leaning. Like it is just getting further and further closer to like it's kind of in between. Like the social is very liberal, but the economic is like we are like becoming more and more austere against the worst off people. And when they say socialism or barbarism, like that is literally the question. It's not like, oh, socialism is it, and everyone's gonna go for socialism. Uh, Fascism's gonna come up again in places. Like communists, socialists want communism or socialism, but we know that like fascism is gonna come up because it's like that's the alternative. When states don't allow communism or socialism to happen, you get more fascist and barbaric things happening, right? They're kind of similar to each other. They're also quite different. But the reality that they both, like, when things get bad and stuff, or when there's an opportunity, it usually trends toward one or the other, right? These are the two far left, far right ideologies, right? Like, you had communism, in a sense, and uh, the Soviet Union. They do have a lot of similarities sometimes, but obviously major differences. And then you had fascism in Germany, right? In Spain, they had communists on one side, fascists on the other side, with Francisco Franco, and then Republican France, Republican Spain, or whatever it was called. It's interesting. It's very interesting. I want to listen to Rita Ora Ritual. Because, and I mean, you have to consider, like, oh, I can't get political power doing socialism. It sounds awful, but, like, is this the move? You know what I mean? Because, like, it sounds terrible, but it's like, is this what New Zealand wants? After all, is this just what people here want? Is this why I get so much shit for socialism, communism? Because people don't want it. Because people actually want fascism in New Zealand or something. Because Riri Ali said, and I've said this many times before, but this is someone else saying it, says New Zealand has a fascist streak, right? And he was a communist, right? And of course, a communist should know what fascism looks like, because it's like that's the alternative to that's the opposite extreme, right? People consider communism an extreme. Fascism is like the opposite extreme. Is fascism the move? Because like, that's terrible to say, but like Is that what's gonna happen here? Like, I'm not talking about me necessarily, but like, is that what's going to happen? In New Zealand, is we're going to get fascism? Is that what's going to happen here? It kind of looks like it to me. It kind of looks like the whole West is leaning toward fascism, to be honest. I mean, look, we've had, Russia's devolved into reactionary, it's kind of a fascist state. Ukraine is like a semi-fascist state. China is kind of socialist, but well, they still have socialism. Japan used to be fascist. Germany used to be fascist. Italy used to be fascist. Spain used to be fascist. France collaborated with them. It's kind of crazy. And obviously, it's not like. There are in betweens. There are always in betweens. This with this country's characteristics and all of that. You have like North Korea, which is like calls itself communist, but it is essentially a fascist country in practice, right? It has like all of the markings of socialism, communism, and it. But you peel back the, behind the curtain, peel back the surface. It's like that's a fascist country, kind of, sort of. So I mean, they do like some socialistic things, but ultimately it is like a monarchy dictatorship where people have like no rights, and it's like a military state. That's fascism, bro. That is fascism. Seriously. Why do they call themselves communists? It's to give itself the appearance of legitimacy, right? Like Pol Pot, he was a fascist. He called himself a communist. He was really a fascist with communist markings. The Nazis themselves called themselves National Socialists. They literally called themselves socialists and then went around killing communists and poor people and ethnic minorities and all of this. Like, what are we talking about? Maybe New Zealand needs the opposite. Maybe New Zealand needs something that calls itself fascist but is actually socialist. You know what I mean? Maybe, maybe that's the move. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, many such examples of fascism calling itself socialism to appear attractive. Maybe New Zealand and other fascist appealing countries need socialism that calls itself like fascism or something like that. I don't know. I think that's risky. Like a monarchy or something, but it's like it's a positive one or something. I don't know. I could be a monarch. I could do that shit. Just make decisions all day. Listen to my advisors. That sort of thing. Seems a lot easier than being a politician. I'm not saying being a politician is that hard, but I think politicians make it hard because they all compete with each other. If they didn't, then it'd be a lot easier. Of course, that's how democracy works. Everything's about competition all the time here. Competing, competing, competing. That's what people want. Competition everywhere. But is our country very competitive? Well, not really. It's not really going anywhere. There's a total lack of like direction from the leadership. What is the actual direction from the leadership anyway? It's like make things easier for businesses give tax cuts to rich people, crack down on the poor. Is this not like fascism? Is this like capitalist degeneracy? This is like right-wing capitalist degeneracy. Crack down on the people you don't like. You know, it isn't crack down on like people who are already suffering and give benefits to people who are already doing well. How's that supposed to increase competition, bro? You're not helping, you're making things worse for the people who could be doing really well if you helped them. And you're making things easier for the people who are already doing well and don't need any help. It's the opposite of what should be being done, clearly. And the opposite would be being done by like a socialist entity, for example. But you see, that's not what most New Zealanders want. Most New Zealanders actually have a strongly held opinion that poor people don't deserve anything. Poor people, oh no, actually poor people don't deserve anything. That's a strongly held position by many New Zealanders. The right-wing coalition of National New Zealand First and ACT won the last election. How did they do that? Because they actually have a lot of support from these terrible people who say my group should just win over everyone else, crush everyone else, when everyone else, the people who are the everyone else are like the people who suffer the most in society, arguably. Or it's not even arguably, it's like objectively they do. Rich people have it easy, right? Rich people's problems are like largely self-imposed when they don't have like some external issue, right? Most of their actual issues, not, I mean, their external issues are largely self-imposed. Their internal issues may not be. Like, they could have a sickness, which is probably not their fault, but, like, they say, like, oh, my job's so stressful, and they don't even have to work. Like, they could quit their job anytime and live off of their savings in a wealthy lifestyle, right? And they just don't want to do that because they choose not to, and they still complain, right? But, I mean, again, New Zealand idolizes wealthy people because I guess wealth is seen as a good thing. And that's fair. It's fair to value wealth because wealth can get you many good things. But, I mean, we have to consider as well, are we even making the best people wealthy? Are we making the right people wealthy? You know, I think we should reward things like athletes a lot less. I don't really think athleticism is like a great measure of wealth. I think even more so, we should reward simple capitalists less, right? I think businesses should still try to make money, but I think we should have be restricting the interest, the influence of these wealthy elites like China does, you know. New Zealand, we have the wealthy elites basically control government to a large degree. They influence policy, and then they get policies that further like the policies just make it easier for them to make money off of people, right? Basically, and exploit people. I'm not saying that companies shouldn't try to make money though, and I'm also not saying that they shouldn't be rewarded for making money, but it needs to be done in a managed way, and this just isn't the case, you know? We don't have well, in some areas there's too much managed, this is the thing, and it sounds like I'm saying nothing, but this is like specifics. There are specifics that you can mention. Some areas is too much restriction, like in the social morality areas and all of that, right? Like, why is sex work still, it's decriminalized, but it's not like totally legal. Why is it not totally legal? What's the like, the, the actual reason for that being the case. It's literally just moral critique. Like, it's literally just a moral question. Like, it's Christian morality, basically. Why are we still doing that shit? That needs to be changed. And that would benefit capitalists, right? And it would also benefit other people whose work wouldn't be, it wouldn't be, it would be legal, finally, right? That's just one example. Social morality getting in the way of, like, fair business and all of that, right? Um, what was the other thing I was saying? Yeah, and then in other areas, it's like, why do we have politicians can like very easily go from working in politics to getting a job with a company that they helped out. I mean, it's called revolving door politics. They go from private sector to public sector to private sector again. This is like blatant corruption, and everyone knows it. Everyone who knows politics in New Zealand knows that this shit happens. But because the politicians all benefit from it, they'll never restrict it from happening, right? They'll never do that. And so you have this like corrupt collaboration between wealthy companies who can pay politicians great jobs after they leave parliament, right? It's crazy, bro. It's so crazy. And then they get to like do lobbying, right? They can be lobby the parliament, the government, which is what these companies do. They send in lobbyists who go and meet with the government, and they represent the government. The government's interests represent these lobbyists more than they do the actual people that they're supposed to be representing, because the people are weak, right? What's the question? Do we change the system and say, okay, that can't be done anymore, and we improve this and that, or do you just say, well, why don't you start your own company? Why don't you stop being resentful? Have your own company, and then you become rich and you influence everything, right? That's a good question. That's a good question. Because if we say, well, we have to question: are they masters or are they slaves? Are these lobbyists, are they masterful people or are they slavish? Because and we have to consider, like, with capitalism and riches, are the rich masterful people? In a sense, they're masterful because they've accumulated so much wealth. In another sense, they're slavish because wealth tends to become most of their primary interests, right? They're not really free, are they? Are they free thinking? No. Are they non-conformist? Not really. Most of them aren't. And then even these performative non-conformist celebrities, they have to conform to being non-conformist. Like, they have to continually be non-conformist in the public's eyes, right? Like, they can't even. You have these ones that wear all this high fashion and all this shit, and if they wore like a suit, people would be disappointed in them. They're still a slave, right? It's not true freedom. What you have to question, like, what is true strength, and what comes from that? What is the expression of true strength, right? I like Nietzsche. He's like, his writing is like very um, masterful, right? In terms of it expresses, he describes like what things which are quite masterful, what that is. I think wealth is a strength. Obviously, having money is a strength, but it also at the same time isn't as valuable to me as like being personally like powerful. Wealth is kind of like a proxy for strength, right? It's kind of like you can get other people to do stuff and that kind of thing, but are you actually strong as an individual? Kind of not really. A lot of wealthy people are kind of weak, you know. Who's the worst? The worst is like the middle class, where most of them aren't very personally capable, and they're not very wealthy either. Cause like here we have this thing, bro. A lot of rich might not be that they might not be that excellent, but they are rich. So you kind of you can shit talk them for like being rich, but not that capable. Who's the retard doing those? Fucking Jazzmaster, bro. You can shit talk them for being rich, but like not deserving it. But they're still rich, right? You still have to respect that they're rich. Um, Poor people might not be rich, and that's shitty, but they could also have really good qualities, and you have to respect those good qualities that they have, right? I think I'm quite poor, but at the same time, I have some good qualities, okay? People have to kind of respect that. You can shit talk me for being poor all you like, but you have to respect, I'm not like an absolute degenerate like some of these other people are. Like the middle class, which is neither wealthy nor very successful personally. They're not wealthy and they're not like capable individuals at the same time. They're like in the middle between two things, sort of. And you can have again, you can have rich and masterful, powerful personal individual, and you can have poor and like useless and like not good at anything, obviously. But I mean, like kind of my point is like there are a lot of people in the middle who are like the middle is like the most consistent. Like most of the people in the middle are like not anything. They're not rich. They're obviously not rich, but they have enough money that if they were actually effective, they should be rich, right? You know what I mean? They have enough capability to get to the middle, but they're also like not capable enough to get out of it. You know, as opposed to like the poor who might not who might be incapable of being wealthy, but they can still have good qualities, right? You have to, because like it might be the case that the only reason this person's actually like super capable, but they're just bad at making money. And if they weren't poor, they'd be really successful. Like, if you just gave them $1 billion, they'd do like extremely good things with it. And they would be so successful then, right? And it would be an expression of their good personal qualities. Okay? Um, but there, there are a lot of like middle class people where it's like, well, you've got money, you're just useless. You're just not very good. You're just mediocre. Like the middle is the middle. The middle is the mediocre. The middle is the I have enough wealth that I could do something else, but I don't. That's what the middle is. That's what makes the middle is like the worst because in very poor places you can find excellent individuals who are just not good at making money and would be super successful if they just weren't poor. If they had resources, they'd be doing really well, right? Um, and you know, socialism kind of seeks to liberate people from the wealth issue so that they can express their own personal qualities to a greater degree and then show their success, right? You know, like how Mao was a peasant and he became like an extremely powerful leader through communism, right? Because he had some good personal qualities. Um, and people saw that. Well, you have like, yeah, and then you have like rich people who are like super mediocre or shitty, like kind of like not great, like useless people, but they got lots of money. You have to kind of respect that, well, they got money though, you know? You can be rich, but but um, what would you say? Like, but lacking personal excellence, individual, Yet people still have to respect that they are wealthy, which is a powerful and masterful trait. You can also be poor, but lacking in but you can also be personally excellent, but lacking in wealth, i.e. poor. Yes, and could be super successful if had more resources, i.e. wealthy here. People still have to respect those personal excellent qualities, right? They can improve. It might be shitty, but you have to respect the wealth. Might be poor, but could be successful. Could be excellent if only had some wealth to work with, as still have personally excellent qualities which you have to respect. Alternatively, there is the middle class, which has enough money to make something of themselves. I hate the middle class, bro. Has enough money to make something of themselves if they were willing to. They were willing and able to, but either lacks the personal excellence qualities. I'll put qualities up here as well. Either they lack the personal excellence or the masterful willpower. Willingness to do so. Has enough money to make something of themselves successful and wealthier if they were willing and able to, but either lacks the personal excellence qualities or the masterful willpower willingness to do so, and is therefore the worst of both options. That's my opinion. I hate these people, bro. Therefore the worst of both options. So one has wealth but no potential. Potential but no wealth. Wealth but low personal potential. High personal potential but low wealth. High wealth but low personal potential. High personal potential but low wealth. Neither high wealth nor high personal potential. They're like slaves. I hate them, bro. They're the worst kind of people. They're the worst kind of people. It's like, why do they even do anything? Why do they exist? And they're so numerous. This is the largest class in society. Also, the largest class in society. Someone said they're like cattle, bro. They are like cattle. What do they do? What do they do? They have neither high wealth nor high... They're not wealthy, and they're not very capable, right? You can't even say, well, if they had more money, they'd be more successful because they'd be, like, expressing... They don't have these good personal qualities, right? They have enough money that if they had good personal qualities, they'd probably be wealthier, right? They're not actually that poor. It's either a lack of willpower or a lack of ability or both. And this is the thing, is the middle class thinks that that's the case for everyone, and it's not. A lot of poor people have willpower and ability, or they, at least good personal qualities, but they don't fit into the economic system as it is, right? And should be liberated from it, right? That's my opinion. If you were to liberate these people from the economic system, they'd be much more capable. Middle class is the fucking worst class by far, and they are the source of society's problems. It is not just the rich or the poor. It's actually the fucking middle, bro. The middle class is the largest group of voters. If they weren't so retarded, we'd get better leadership, because they vote for the leaders. That's fucking crazy, bro. Like, they're not personally capable and they're not wealthy. Why would you respect them? They have like a moderate level of wealth and maybe some capabilities. Fucking bullshit. They're actually the worst class, because it's like, why aren't you rich? Or like, why do you have money? That's the question, right? It's like, the first question is like, you have money already, why aren't you richer? The second question is like, why do you have money in the first place? If you're not able to make more, how did you get the money you already have? By being mediocre. That's all they are, is mediocre. Middle of the line. That's what they are. They're not excellent. They're not excellent at all. They don't have any excellent qualities. Most of them have no excellent qualities. Most of them are painfully mediocre. Like my parents, bro. It's what they're like. Middle class, last man people. Need to be liberated. I think more, it's not so much that they need to be liberated. I think society needs to be liberated from them. Because they control society. I think it's not we need to liberate the middle class. It's we need to liberate society from the middle class. We need to liberate the rest of the people from the middle class. Seriously. It's the worst class in society. They're responsible for everything. People are like, oh, well, you know, the rich use their money and power to manipulate them. If they weren't so fucking retarded, they wouldn't get manipulated in the first place. If they weren't so painfully mediocre, they wouldn't vote for such bad leadership in the first place, and we wouldn't have any of these problems. That's the fucking problem, bro. That's the fucking problem. If they weren't so stupid and corrupt, which they are... The largest class of people in society is not very wealthy, but also not very capable. I think people get pissed off at me because I think I'm wasting my potential, and that's probably true. Like, I'm trying though. I do have issues that people don't understand, like sickness. I also have ethics, which means I don't want to be corrupt. Like, I could be corrupt, and I would feel like shit doing it, you know? Probably would work though. I don't know. I don't know. Look, maybe I'm not that smart. No, I just hate corruption, bro. Like, it makes me feel like shit. I hate it. I couldn't do that shit. Unless I had a really good reason to. Unless I had a really good reason. That's true. If you gave me a really good reason, maybe I'd consider it. But until that, I'm not sure. I could, yeah, I mean, if you made it, like, really, like, significant. Maybe if I was really poor. So I have, like, low wealth. I'm not wealthy. I got, like, a bit saved, but my income is, like, 400 and something a week. Most of which I spend on food and rent. If I was making, like, 100,000 a year, I can't even imagine. Like, I'd be doing shit. I'd be out there doing shit. Instead, I got, like, 20. I got, like, a fifth of that. That's almost a fifth. I'm literally on, like, below poverty wages. It doesn't look like it because I live at my parents' house, which, um, reduces the, severity by a bit, but my parents are, like, middle class, upper middle class. I'm on, like, poverty wages, bro. Dun, 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 dun. I don't like money because I feel like it corrupts you. I feel like, and this is the thing, I feel like people with a lot of money don't feel the need to improve their personal capabilities. It kind of, like, corrupts you. Why would I? Baby, just put me out of my misery. Well, we got high wealth, low potential, low wealth. High wealth and high potential, and that's the ideal. This is obviously the ideal. Masterful. That's like me if I had money. But I'm not very motivated toward making money. Well, I'd rather have, like, real power. I think if you get real power, the money follows, right? If you have influence over people, like, they'll give you money, you know? I also, like, I just don't really feel like being the one to, like, manage finances and shit. I don't want to do that. Have someone else do that shit. You just give me the product. I just say, hey, get this done. Someone else manages the money, and I get the result. That's what I feel like. You know, it's like a monarchy style. I don't care about money. I think money is stupid. I think having wealth is a good thing, obviously, but this like capital interest is just fucking retarded. Really, we need to focus on bigger things and just what is like making the most money. Seriously. Neither high wealth nor high personal potential, the largest class in society, the middle class. If the middle class had more potential, had better personal capabilities, they'd be wealthier. That's true. They would. Because they've already got money. If I had more money, I could make even more money, right? That's the reality. If I had even more money, I could make even more money, right? Like my laptop cost me like 2 grand. If I didn't have the money, I wouldn't be able to stream. Um, I could make money off of streaming. I just don't want to, right? Like wealth can be in other forms, right? Like if I didn't have my laptop, I wouldn't be able to like educate myself as well to a degree, right? No, but what was I saying? Like if the middle class was wealthier, or not wealthier, if they were more capable, they would be making more money, right? That's kind of how it is for the middle class. Um, because they've already got enough money to be making more off of it, right? They can spend that, get a better education. Because when I look at my savings, I have to consider like I'm not saving anything right now, and I'm spending out of my savings. I can't spend that on like expensive stuff to improve my life because my income is so low, right? I don't have money to spend on extra things. The middle class has disposable income. I don't have disposable income. I have savings which I spend on food and I have to save to like for anything that I might actually need or really want, right? It's supposed to last. That's supposed to last me like a long time, basically. It's not going to last a long time, I can tell. But the middle class has like enough money and a high enough income that if they had actually good capabilities, they'd be more successful and would make even more money. Like you have resources, resources plus capabilities equals more resources, which then you can improve your capabilities with, right? It's true. Like I'm probably bad at making money. Maybe. Yeah, but that's true. If I wasn't bad at making money, I'd have money, right? But I mean, also they say like you kind of need money to make money. That's a common capitalist piece of rhetoric thing that they say. This little phrase that they have. You do need money to make money, right? Like investing. My brother makes money off of investing. How does he do that? Because he gets paid a good salary. He makes like 2,000 off of investments he's done. I can't spend my money on investments. I don't have like it's too risky for me. I can't lose any of that. If I lost it, like then yeah, I don't. I'm not. Again, like I said, I'm not a big money fan. But I don't have money to just risk on shit. It's like gambling to me. For someone who has $100,000, spending 2,000 to make like 2,000 is like it's like it's nothing. For someone who has like a fifth of that or less, um, That's like spending 10% of your money. And you're not even guaranteed to make it back. But again, it's like I said, I think if I was richer, I probably wouldn't feel the need to improve myself more. So, maybe it would make me lazy. Right? How the fuck did I get up here? If I were richer, it might make me lazy, right? Right, but you could have like a company which is like a proxy and you just try to get your company rich, right? Is that what these capitalists do, like Mark Zuckerberg? He just makes his company rich, right? Why has this guy been killing me while I've been AFK for like 15 minutes or something? Put the last damn bullet in my broken heart. A degree of. And resolve. This guy's so lame, bro. How long has he been killing me for? How the fuck did we get all the way over here? I was like in the middle of the city. I'm Thomas. Fuck this guy, bro. 1-4. Just some cheese with cumin seeds in it. So tasty. What a great combination. Wow. Whoops. Wow. And I wish you'd make it quick and painless. Out the way. Oh, shit. What? Bro just executed me. Police officer saw I was on the ground and shot me in the head, bro. The fuck? Is this what American police are like? That was Jazzmaster. He's so annoying, bro. Holy shit. You think you're his friend and then he comes and kills you again. He's getting in. Okay, he is being my friend, okay. It's hard to predict. Cheese would be so nice if it didn't taste like sour milk, but that's basically what it is. And I wish you'd make it quick and painless. Don't let it last too long. So baby, just put me out of my misery. Put the last damn bullet in my broken heart. I think I've got I've got the lyrics to one song and the instrumental to another song, and I thought they were the same thing, and they're not. Probably be better if they were. One of them's called Misery, the other one's called Missed Call. Missed Call relatable, bro. The girl I like's ignoring me. She wants me to look more successful, I bet. She wants me to not look like a fucking loser, poor, homeless guy looking trash, you know? Probably superficial like that. Superficial. I shouldn't go for superficial girls. Maybe it's a... I think a lot of girls are like that. I shouldn't say it's like an ethnicity thing, but... Possibly. Possibly. Put the last damn bullet in my broken heart. What the fuck is that? Get out the way, NPC. Who is blowing us up? It's fucking annoying ass retard. Why does that plane have unlimited rockets, bro? It's fucking stupid. It's a plane. How could they carry unlimited rockets? I forgot to add the 4 fried eggs to my food diary. Why did you get out? Why do people get into your car and then put a route on? Like, I'm not driving you there, bro. I still do it anyway. But it's like, why do they do that? It's so annoying. I'm not your fucking taxi driver, bro. And I wish you'd make it quick and painless. Don't let it last too long. So baby does. Let me out of my misery. Yeah. They're called fried eggs, but they're not in oil. What does that even mean? For his name, Ave Roma Eterna. Man thinks he's Julius Caesar or some shit. Crazy. Why are so many fascists atheists? Like, the ancient Romans weren't atheists. I don't know. Funny how they adapted Nietzsche to fascism as well. It's not really what he was. Well, I think a lot of what they did was not really what he was talking about. Mass killings. I mean, that's not really an expression of self-liberation, is it? Seems more like an expression of resentment. Mass killings for like racial reasons, you know. I mean, what is that? Racial supremacy. I don't think Nietzsche talked about racial supremacy too much. What's like the humanities? Maybe like a political party. Contemporary. I think it's a political party. How's this got 26 million? The other one's got 1. How's it 26 times? 1 point something. Fucking loser. I get past 3 rings. This music's kind of resentful and depressing, to be honest. It's about soulful, though. No, I'm sick of those. I got fucking copyright. I had to remove part of a video because I showed the music video for Wild Ones. Fucking bullshit. There's a retard. Why does this retard keep attacking me, bro? I can't even hit him. You literally can't even hit him. Because he's too high up in the sky. Dumbass fucking retard. What's this retard's problem? I'm just trying to drive, bro. Loser. I bet his fucking helicopter is like, would tank like 10 rockets as well, right? You're gonna tell me that's the case. I feel like there's more to learn from the other ones. I feel like I've learned enough from socialism, communism already. I already know how it works. It's just people don't find it appealing here. Maybe people would find it more appealing if you adopted some at least superficial fascist characteristics, you know? I feel like people find fascism at least superficially appealing. Yo, what is this guy's fucking problem? He's coming straight to me. He's only targeting me. No way this fucking retard is only targeting me. No way this fucking retard's only targeting me, bro. Literally the instant I get in my car, he's like coming after me. Did not mean to do that. Why does this thing exist, bro? McDragon, McRatard. That song sucked. Fascism is like right-wing counterculture, you know? It's like the parallel to communism. I think it's an interesting thing to. I think it would be good for me to study it because I already consider myself well a communist Marxist, right? Try to consider why the fascists so successful everywhere, bro. Even Italy, Meloni was a neo-fascist. She's a neoliberal now, but she runs the country. Like, shit's crazy. Israel is a fascist country. They're Jewish Zionist fascists, right? It's crazy, bro. It the India is run by like a fascist origin party, fascist influenced party. The combination of fascism and socialism is called like National Bolshevism. I don't think I'd really be a fan of that, but it's an interesting thing to consider, I guess. Why is this guy called something Roman, but he's dressed like a terrorist? What a character, bro. What a character. The United States has like Christian fascism as well. Fucking racist. It wasn't even creative, it was just retarded. Come up with something more funny than that. It's off the radar, come on. Holy shit, is this dragon guy again? No. Try boy. Souls, bruv. You'll always be married to it. Let's play like you. Where's like you? What? How long is this? 2.5 hours. Where's like you? Yeah. Happy, happy, happy. Ta-da-ta-da-ta-dum. Yo, oh. Baby cream ba ba ba. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. No, he's run away. Me likey, likey, likey. Me likey, likey, likey. Heart, heart. Me likey, likey, likey. Yo, that was a fucking NPC. Bruh. Why are there so many people on? It's 3 p.m. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Oh, Jago. Got him. He might not have even been shooting at me. That was kind of sad. Right. We. Ah. Love line, love line. Fuck. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. You're not gonna get banned for like showing like fascist communist stuff, right? I know they banned the symbols and stuff in other places. This is a thing though, isn't it funny? Like by banning it, they make it an even more powerful symbol, right? That's the that's the thing. Like how they ban communist symbols in Ukraine, it makes it an even more powerful symbol. Literally. Na, 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 na. How do you roll? Bro, why is he shooting at me? What the fuck? This shit's crazy, bro. Bruh. Bro, fuck this guy. What's this one called? Precious Love. Damn. That's what the police. Oh, did he leave? Where did he go? Oh, fuck, he got away. He's in passive mode. Bullshit. He's in his helicopter again. What the fuck? Magical. I haven't seen Hunter on in ages. You're my candy candy pop pop na 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 na. Yo, must be new. He's not. Bro, this is taking ages to arrive. How to use the bathroom. How did I die? He killed me. Oops. Bro, why doesn't he get on? Bro. Who's fucking with me? is not as good as it was yesterday. The chips are overcooked and the chicken is dry.
Why are you running?
Alright, I was like, who blew me up if the modder left? Well, the modder's back again. Spectude gotta be one of the lamest modders of all time, bro. He just grapes people all the time because he finds it funny. He's got nothing better to do. He just blows people up because he thinks it's funny and shit. That's so fucking retarded. He's gotta be one of the worst modders of all time. What are the other ones are quite chill? I take my goddamn phone and shut it off. Oh, I'm so tired. It's 5 p.m. Damn. Tired of being just another missed call. Should play Life is Strange 2 again soon. Continue it. Only a little bit through. This guy's like a cryptid, bro. He's so weird. He's like a fucking character. It's so weird, holy shit. So weird. I'm feeling so tired. Oh my fucking god, bro. It's fucking Spectude. Fuck off, Spectude. Nobody likes this retard. He's always intervening for no reason. Fuck off, you idiot. His name should be Spectard, because that's what he is. A spectating retard who keeps involving himself. Didn't make it past 3 rings. Oh, so tired. How's this guy killed me 20 times? What the fuck? When was this guy killing me? Jesus Christ. 20 times to 1 kill is insane. It's literally just a graver. Fuck off, retard. Why did he ask, can I come in? Bro, you're literally a graver. Why are you asking for permission? Fucking graver, bro. And he's gonna be he's slow, watch. I'll pace him super easily. super easily. Oh my fucking god, there's no way. The boost is so bad, bro. Let me control the power level. Why can't you control the power level? It's like, most of the time it's too much when you're going a short distance. That's garbage anyway. He still won't catch up to me even with like minutes of delay. It's fucking trash. So he's still not gonna catch up to me. Crazy. Too slow, bro. Left bro in the dust. Joy. Bro, you just admitting that you're too shit to get me. What the fuck? Mercenaries don't even do anything, bro. This guy's dog shit. God damn, did he quit? He's so far away, holy shit. Tired of being just another missed call. What was he off the right on out? No, it's quad. Soria was there for like a couple seconds and then he left. Wonder why that was. Is this CP real? Okay, I'm getting off now.